So testosterone,
Mm-hmm.
it's the stuff that matters. If you're an athlete, if you're a dad,
Yeah.
if you're someone out there and you want to sleep a little better, perform a little better, gain some muscle, get a little faster, what's it going to be? Distance
Well, I
or
mean,
sprinting?
and you think about every person
Right,
they're all
right,
talking
right.
about like taking low T supplements and things like that. Like
All of them. Got to take all the supplements.
I don't want to. I don't want to do the supplements. I want to do it natural. What am I looking
Dude,
at? What are my
check this
options?
out. Check this out. Just found or came across this in the hunt.
Okay.
World War II veteran Lester Wright.
So he's all the way on the
All
left
the way
side
on the
of the
left.
screen. He takes
Burner. How cool is this though, dude? 100 years old. What our grandpa was 95 is when he swam his last in the Masters.
I believe so.
95, or I think he might have even done one early in his 96-year-old. So this is just way cool. Look at him, dude.
So he's in lane 8. So we got
lane 8.
Lane 8. He's running through. He's not in last place. 100 years old.
No.
He is not in last place.
No, so he ran a 26.34. I don't know that he's as worried about his T, but he is trucking.
Testosterone wise, heck, testosterone has to be associated with being able to do that at 100.
I probably so. I mean, if you measured that compared to other guys in that age bracket, I mean, possibly.
I would assume that he would have higher markers.
The bodybuilding world right now is just guys are dropping left and right from all their steroid extra use. So I don't know.
Do you think there's this middle range that you want to hit in the testosterone world? Like, I don't want to overdo it. I want to shoot it in the middle.
I don't know, because I've actually worked with a lot of guys that start doing the low T thing when I was training, and it's kind of interesting because they try to get them around like that 600 to 700-ish, 500-ish range.
Which is the high end of natural.
But yeah, well, what I think is kind of crazy though is this, what people really need is like a base level all the way up to the top. You need to know what your numbers were in your 20s, your 30s, and some guys, I think I've heard, I might be butchering this, but I think I've heard like Woodley. Woodley is a UFC fighter, insanely jacked, very strong dude, naturally built, and I want to say I heard his testosterone levels were like in the 1500s naturally.
So he is running. Is he bald?
No,
because a lot of people talk about how when you have higher testosterone levels, it changes your hair follicle growth and it changes all these other things too. Which is the thing that always makes me go, I want to be in the middle then. I don't want to lose all my hair.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's not as much as this knowledge towards genetics as everybody likes her to believe. But the study that we found, let's chit-chat about the study. We've got does running increase your testosterone? And
Which common knowledge says no, it does not.
Well,
everyone would say no, that doesn't help you at all.
Right. But if we're going to take this for the average Joe, we're not going to talk about a bodybuilder. We're not going to talk youth athletics.
We're talking about me right now.
Yeah, we're talking about 30s.
I want to fix this.
Yeah, 30s, 40s. Yeah, about that. You should fix some things.
Listen, we can agree. We don't have to celebrate the agreement.
You may be a little low T. No, but I think one of the craziest things about most all this stuff is, of course, running sprints is what this study more or less, in a nutshell, we read through it. It gives you some pretty compelling information, but more or less it's telling you to run sprints. Anything above 90% of your maximal oxygen uptake is going to help increase your testosterone. And anytime you super overdo it, you're going to increase your cortisol levels a lot and kind of almost negate what you're going for. If you're trying to use running to increase your testosterone, stick to the sprints, don't let too much cortisol build up, and then get some sleep.
So sleep, well, that's a whole different thing. So why is sleep, I don't want to say why does sleep matter like I don't know, but like persuade me why sleep is so important here.
Well, I tell you, I've worked with the fitness stuff for so long, and more often than not, everybody wants this magic pill on how to lose fat. They want this magic pill on how to get jacked and build all the muscle, in which there kind of is. It's called steroids.
Right.
But, a lot of people don't really get great sleep until they get very deep into trying to train for a show. Oh, I can't lose this last bit of fat. I should start sleeping better. Right. I'm trying to get the most optimal amount of muscle growth. I need to be sleeping better.
They get a coach, and the coach says, like, the first thing I want you to do is start thinking about your recovery as much as you do your actual active building.
Right. Well, and no one sleeps enough, let's be honest. I mean,
it
feels, for some reason, whatever it is about kid world, it's like the moment the kids hit the bed, you're like, I am wide awake now.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good. Hold my hair back. I got some energy.
Right. And so then at that moment, the last thing I want to be doing is shutting down for the night and being like, this is really best for my testosterone.
It's for my tea. It's
But it does, right? Like
it's true.
The studies show that like a 10 to 15% drop if you're not getting enough sleep.
That's what it says. That's what it says.
I mean, that's a big deal. 10 to 15%. If I'm working to naturally gain or at least sustain my testosterone levels and I'm not sleeping, then I'm already undercutting my efforts right out of the gate.
Right. I think there's a lot of things that you can get like true optimal performance, but most oftentimes, people are going to have to do what just works into their schedule.
Mm-hmm.
But sleep, if you're not sleeping and you're trying to have like optimal results or stay super fit into your 30s, 40s, 50s, you got to start there. And if you're not sleeping, then maybe some of the problems also might be your extreme caffeine addiction. They may also be, some of these, are you gaming? Are you sitting on your phone too late? All those other things that keep you awake. Just because you're not sleeping right doesn't mean I can't sleep. You're not a good sleeper. You might have some things causing it. You might have a bell going off at your firehouse every other day trying
for instance.
Yeah.
I think the other thing too is a lot of these things are they build into themselves. So you get more testosterone because one of the major benefits that a lot of people say when they go on the low T supplements is they can sleep all the way through the night really well now.
It's true. It's true. That's one of like the biggest perks I've ever heard from anybody's like, oh, it makes me sleep better.
I get such good night's sleep on the testosterone supplements. So that means then that if you are not reducing your testosterone by making sure you get enough sleep, you'll have more testosterone that'll actually help you sleep more. So it's like it helps itself by making sure that you make that a priority.
Sure. Ooh. But lifting weights too. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do to naturally increase your testosterone. Mm-hmm. But I have to say, listening to some people talk about this topic and their experiences, I don't know that it's not a one-way ticket to Drury Town. I mean, you're just going to lose your testosterone unless you're going to synthetically add it. I would like to wish that there was some kind of an answer for anyone moving into their middle ages. Like, is there a real solution that's not going to kill you, give you a heart attack, or are we still just throwing things against the wall?
I don't have Lester's numbers, but we'll assume it's somewhere in the thousands.
I would assume
when he proves it, you just get out there and be a 100-meter sprinter, and you're going to keep that testosterone. I'll bet he sleeps like a baby every night.
I bet he does too. I mean, these guys are kind of like, they're pretty inspirational. We have a pretty unique experience with our grandpa.
Right.
95 years old, master swimmer, breaking records. I think he's got more gold medals. He could build his house out of gold medals. I
think
swear.
he did.
If he melted it down and
he
stuck
has a
them up.
room that's just that.
Yeah. I don't doubt that there's trunks and trunks. I mean, every time the guy wins, he's got like 18 medals. And, when you think of this, it's like, it's a pretty cool deal. They got a heck of a crowd going.
The craziest part, and with our grandpa specifically, is as soon as he was not able to continue to compete, as soon as he was not able to, go out there and train and do those things, his health also deteriorated. So there's an element.
Nearly immediately.
Right. There's an element of just straight longevity being attached to being that active. And that's something that, like, I want to maintain as I go on, and if testosterone is the way to do that, then this is.
Do you think though that some of that stuff matters really?
Which part?
Obviously testosterone comes with a little bit of vanity. It's cool. You get to look better, feel better. There's no one that can possibly explain to me that taking testosterone does not enhance the way you look. I've had a couple of these conversations. I'm like, you are false.
You can even just go past vanity. There is a part of pride. One of the first things that we talked about, so we got this new app that we could break down our blood levels because we get blood levels every single year. And the very first question everyone started asking was, hey, what's your testosterone level? Like instantly.
Yours like a 30?
22, but not a big deal.
You should try to sleep.
Not a big deal.
Yes,
but
try to take a nap.
So it doesn't even have to be vanity based. It's just I want to know that I had more testosterone than you for no reason.
It's like a who's these bigger game.
Exactly.
It's just
I
like
want my number to be.
What's your T name?
Right.
Or what's your T number?
Give me your number. What's your number?
Oh,
you know what they say about big testosterone numbers.
Yeah, I actually wish that the watches kind of moved into that where
if they stab you and take your testosterone?
Something like how can we do blood tests? I think the diabetic movement with like pieces of inserts and things. I just think it would be really cool to have a much better gauge of all your information.
Can you imagine doing a longitudinal study, something that started when somebody was 30 years old?
That's what you really need.
And you just soak up their blood once a day, every day, at different points of the day, and you have I mean, years of data on somebody.
I don't doubt that the healthcare system wouldn't, for a personal, like individual, I guarantee that you would be able to see so many things coming if there was an easier way to measure your blood.
Yeah, well, and basically most of the things that are chronic problems, the earlier you detect them, the better chance you have of reversing them or even just treating them.
Sure. Your cholesterol's went up 200 points in the last 8 years. We should do something now. You know, your testosterone levels used to be here and they are cut in half now. We should work to do something, or you should know that you're only sleeping for 4 hours on average every single week. Maybe we should start working on that and see if it helps your testosterone levels.
It is weird because I think that would be potentially the next phase of like right now it's a wearable. The wearable tracks your walking, it tracks your heart rate, it tracks those kinds of things. Now it's good. It's doing what SpO2. Like the more sensors these wearables end up having, the more data you'll just have on who you are. And I wonder if the things we think we know about trends in the human body and stuff like that, we end up upturning and just saying, nope, we didn't have enough data. We were all wrong. Or if it solidifies all that.
Yeah, you kind of wonder, though, if the writing wouldn't be on the wall on like many of the fronts. You know, if you could have seen it in an individual even 10 times earlier than you're saying you're seeing them now.
Right.
You might be able to influence an awful lot of deals, but I think the innovations coming for diabetics is going to be the in for all that. As soon as they find a way to test blood and see it on a watch that's not continually pricking you, that they can move it into digital, whether it be like a Neuralink function, an insert that talks to this thing, somehow that innovation, when the average Joe can get their blood done daily all the time, you think it would stop people from like drinking alcohol and stuff? If you could easily see like, oh, shnikes.
Well, I mean, alcohol will affect your blood sugar, and that's what specifically the diabetic thing is doing. But say your wearable tracked your blood alcohol content. Do you think people will go like, you know what? I want to get into the buzzed range. I don't want to get in blackout range.
Oh, no.
And could you imagine range is 1.2.
The evolution of driving cars at that point?
Oh, that's a fact. That's your new key.
Yeah.
Man. But at the same time, is that not a great thing? I want to make a better decision and not drive my car drunk. I'm a little too drunk to drive right now. It's Uber time. Like, that's not a bad thing.
No. We just talked to Elon a little while, get him off Twitter to build some robots.
I don't want to bother Elon. Right now, he's building me a robot that it doesn't matter how drunk I am, it's going to get me home and carry me to bed.
Hopefully he brings cocktails. Does that mean you get to bring roadies?
Heck yeah. Then he shows up, throws back one, we go home.
Do you think that the world will be able to maintain testosterone levels when they have to do zero things? Or is everyone going to be CrossFit fiends, be the most jacked workout individuals of all time, or is the world going to become slobs?
I have to say that Disney has they've already projected this.
Disney?
One. Did you ever watch WALL-E?
I don't. Yeah. Well, I don't remember, but I think I've seen it.
All right, so WALL-E.
Isn't he the one that's like in the middle of nowhere and something occurred?
Exactly. So Earth is broken. They send him out on a ship. These people on the ship have everything taken care of for them. WALL-E ends up getting there, and he's the lens that you look at the whole ship through. But everybody on the ship is overweight, low bone density, low everything like that because they're doing nothing. They're getting transported around by robot cars. It's like these wheelchairs basically. And so they have already shown what the future has in store for us. Thanks, Elon.
Disney.
Dang, they are.
Who knew?
Them and apparently The Simpsons. They can tell the future.
That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I think it could go both. I think you're going to have like the elite of the elite. And I don't mean a class system. I mean, there's going to be like some people that are like, I have nothing else to do other than work out.
Right.
Because you kind of already have that.
Well, not like you said earlier, the vanity thing. Like if somebody's just, I want to look a certain way. Did you just sneeze?
I tried hard. Man, it hurt hard.
That was silent.
I tried to make it so it didn't get in the microphone, but I think I about blew an O-ring out. I don't know what that was.
Did you pop a rib out of place?
It felt structural. It felt the nasals up high. It was in there, and then I almost popped an ear. And I think lowly my vertebrae kind of shifted. I mean,
we got to go get you checked out.
I'll sneeze next time. Sorry, guys. I'll sneeze. That was painful. But yeah, get out there and run some sprints, would you? Run sprints, not too much. Keep your cortisol level lows. Raise your T.
Go to bed.
You know, get a little sleep.
Go to bed.
And if the low T guy promises you won't get hurt, then I don't know. I guess.
Well,
do what you want to do.
We'll cross that bridge in a bit.